Hello, hello, hello. We are back with Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, Miles Edgeworth. Just gonna keep the starting soon screen up for another half minute. Today, we are going to be finishing. We are gonna be finishing Turnabout Airlines, which is what we started last time when I played this game. I didn't finish it, because it's long. I think I'm gonna finish it today. I could be wrong, though. It really depends how long it is. But I think I can finish it. I'm gonna try. This down. Here we are, Turnabout Airlines. I also think it's cool how the, starting soon screen, the, press any key screen or the menu screen or whatever, is, it has Turnabout Airlines in the background. Oh my god, I forgot to change my VTuber, PNG tuber. I keep mixing the two up. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just, give me 1 second. Just gotta change. I can't believe I forgot to do that. There we go, I got my little lawyer's pads now. And now we're ready to start. Here we go. Let's load. Yes. March 12th, 1 p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. Hey, I recognize this guy. Oh, I forgot his name, but he's from Turnabout Samurai in the first Phoenix Wright game. That actually works out really well, because this is the first Edgeworth game. It's the second case of the first Edgeworth game, and this guy appears in the second case of the first Phoenix Wright game. That's a funny coincidence. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Teniro and Miss Emile, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Teniro in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. I have no idea who's talking right now. Oh, it's Francisca! Francisca, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Francisca von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up for this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal! Have you no shame? Francisca, you do know what your dad did, right? Sorry, I gotta turn this volume down a bit. Francisca, you are aware that your dad did kill a man. His dad specifically? Are you aware of that? That's, alright. Wait, it's been a big misunderstanding! I didn't kill the victim! A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself, You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death, Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed him, Anna? No, she doesn't. I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed, which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir! Too slow. Oh! Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? But Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? It's about yes or no, detective. Yes, sir! Understood, sir! You just leave it to me! Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you excuse me... Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Alright. So when I look over here. Okay, yeah. Funchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. That's with the, what's the case? I forgot the case. But the bonus case in the first Ace Attorney game. The one detective lady, or former detective lady. That's where she worked. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special. World flag lunchboxes. Only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Ethiopia, Russia, roll flag lunchboxes, equal. Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000, lol. For my next elite movie, I'm gonna be the Steel Samurai with Warrior of Neo Tokyo. Versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna be rocks. There's so many boxers. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. I'm sure you'll be watching it, Edgeworth. What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not that bad as a mode of transportation. Nice. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight. So many planes. Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway. Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. Alright, Gumshoe. The initial investigation. So how is the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was, a little too quick, sir. Oh? How so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kinda creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. and I'd come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly, and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all this. Miss Von Karma just kinda popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part is what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyways, that's all about the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Alright. Can I go this way? Yep. March 12th, 1:37 PM, flight G9. Okay, no, that was already spelled, I think. So, you must be the captain. Why, yes I am! And who might you be? I'm the prodigy prosecutor Franziska von Karman. I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman? I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. Oh. This does not seem like a healthy relationship. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyways, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Ah! March 12th, 1:40 PM, flight G390, first floor, lounge. Now see here! Ah! Come shoot. Sorry, I'm sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you! Mr. LeBlanc, oh, it's you! Tell this man to stop me from going! Tell this man to stop stopping me from going! Time is money. I don't even have 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Well, I'm gonna look at other things first, so you'll have a few seconds to spend. Actually, this is cautioned up. I don't think I have that much time. They've got a piano on the plane. Hey, do you think I could try it out, sir? I think you would know better than to randomly touch things at a crime scene, detective. Besides, I didn't know you knew how to play. Of course I do. I'm practically proficient. Interesting. The things you learn about people on a daily basis. I can get dumb and read and come out just right, sir. Two notes does not proficient pianist. What? 2 notes does not a proficient pianist. That's just weirdly worded. That's just a weirdly worded sentence. Hey, the statue! What about it, detective? Did you notice something? I saw this guy in a dream last night. The resemblance is uncanny, sir. You saw him in your dreams? Oh yeah, I saw him, and then I arrested him. I wanted to show you just how vital I am in our partnership. Being useful in your sleep is of no help to me in the real world, detective. Looks like we can't go beyond here, sir. Plus, the body has been sent off to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Oh man, there's a really pretty lady in that plane over there. She's looking over here. Quick, sir, wave at her with me, please. I refuse to be your wingman on this. Alright, I'll talk to you. Did you finish taking a statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I'm not concerned if you're not been examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. Box cargo? If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat, it kinda looks like that other piece of cloth. Oh, yeah, the one in the suitcase. I forgot about that. I should present that, shouldn't I? Mr. LeBlanc, could you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Burgundian cloth! As I suspected, your hat is made out of the same material, I suppose? Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from all over the seas for more. Bloody cloth updated in my organizer. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No, my cargo this time is much many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You could get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. It is no good that the attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. Well, Miss Meal was upstairs, so it has to be Miss Tenero. Go to Tenero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for an interview. They still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenero's the only... Why is Miss Tenero's the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were giving it free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room? Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca's logic. Let's hear it. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was... until his body was found, the only person in the lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This, unmistakably, makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Francisca? Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. Absolute, not obsolete. That's not the right word. Absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic. Fast. Rebuttal. Okay. Let's not complicate things, go with the most obvious conclusion. Scene of the crime was in the lounge. We have our doubts on that one, so I might have to present something there. Right? Maritime. It was you, Miles Edgeworth. I mean, I saw... I think I saw Miss Tenero, but I don't remember if I have evidence for that or if that's just me. I'm gonna press on this. I I think I know what to present here. So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more. Are you saying there's more than I need to know? Why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. Okay, yeah, so that is what I need to present here. Objection! What do you mean? What do you... Okay, I'm confused. Poor Gumshoe. Okay, let me just, take a look at my evidence. Wallet. I need to prove that this wasn't the crime scene, I think. Maybe not. Maybe the stat? Maybe the... Maybe that? I don't know. It's like cell phone cloth. This was used to transport the body. Maybe that? Maybe that. Scene of the crime was here. I'm just gonna press on everything for now. Because I was really certain about those footprints, but I guess that's not it. Okay, that's the same thing as the press from before. But I pressed on a different thing. Press on this one. It's true that I was in a lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal. Objection! We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. I don't think so. Gonna press on this one. What do you mean by scene? Please stop pretending like you don't know, it's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 AM. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found, okay. I feel like I have to present something here. Maybe it's the suitcase. Objection! There it is. It was the suitcase. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all. Objection! Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you to come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. Avant Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point? Objection! As if there's proof of that. Where's the proof that the suitcase was moved around? Now I present the footprints. Take that! The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proves the killer dropped the suitcase through here? Right there.
Take that!
Take that. This mark here, wouldn't you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from 2 wheels? I suppose... Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses. Objection! Not so fast, this still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Okay. Francisca's Logic Part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then, you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and threw the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic, for something you've thought on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic for in one fell swoop. Rebuttal. Okay. For yourself, acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. Let me just take a look-see at this. Okay, well... That was quick. That was very fast. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in the courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo Piggybank is such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assumed it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did this 3 things after turbulence. Oh my god. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Acme Hicks. You there! Yes, ma'am! Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or it is still at the real crime scene. Objection! There is one more possibility. And that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real murder weapon. But didn't we just... Hold it. Let me finish. The killer took the bank out of the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door, and it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's say, so that means the killer had the key to the display case. Francisca, the person you're talking about, not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wished to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Let's go. Okay, well, I can tell. Whose bed is which. That's silly. Wow, Miss Tenero is literally everywhere. She's on the poster, she's on the style chart, she made the suitcases. It's a little suspicious. There must be more than 2 flight attendants. There is. We already know there is. That was confirmed in the last time I played. So why is she specifically everywhere? Why is that phone taken off? That phone right there. Why is it not hooked up? I don't know. Alright, flight attendant's room. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without captain's permission. Devastating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenero. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too. Can you please help oh my god. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright, What do you mean? Oh. That's how to leave. It makes sense. Is there another door over here? Okay, whatever, I'll talk to you. Captain's permission. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Beale. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You're able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, There's a sudden hesitation. Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. In-flight shop, All I did was go and check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work, then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After you visit the shop, you paid a visit to his room, correct? Oh my god, I did not read that correctly at all. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup, I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop, but is there all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing, Alright. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase, Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it, This suitcase is the reason why you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, well... I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know as a service professional I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one there. Last one, Okay, that's interesting, because there were two of them, so at that point the killer had already taken the suitcase. The last one there. That's good to know. So you're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular they're basically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Let's say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'll go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. That's what I was saying. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How can I put this? It's hideous, What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcases isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's, I thought you said there was only 1 left? That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. Still has the price tag, yeah. It still has the price tag on it. That's still a crazy amount of money for a suitcase this hideous. Miss Tenero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tenero says? The price tag. Take that. Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it always your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? Ah! What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales number made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Tenero, I think I understand. I know what you were trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was... you. Take that. It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly the design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then, the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. But the suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous. Can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they just were sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in, day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. You buy one every single time you work a flight. I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. That's a $1,200 price tag. Buying one every flight you take. Girl, you must be at a loss. There's no way you get paid over $1,200 for every flight. And you're spending that every flight? Jesus! Yes, and here's my receipt for that purchase. This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m. Good to know. So the suitcase must have been taken before that. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss Teniro, where are these other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. Ah, how could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Miss Teniro, is there any other way to get the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through that door there. And what about security, That door has no special lock installed because, just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to, which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Hold it. Yes, Francisca? Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. What do you mean by that? The suitcase came through the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard. Edgeworth, You're proposing the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Meal, I asked her earlier, and she had this to say. Francisca got information out of Miss Meal? In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Teniro, and only you. Oh. What? Is this true, Miss Teniro? Yeah, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yeah, hold on. Ah! I don't believe it! What's wrong? The key card, it's gone! Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through. Oh wait, it's not like that! You can tell us all about what it's down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth, what's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However... Hold it! Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I mean, we haven't even looked at the cargo hold. We don't know what evidence is there. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. There we go. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I'm going to go with you. I intend to do likewise. To be continued. We're not stopping yet. We're gonna keep going. We are finishing this today. March 12th, 2:52 p.m. Flight G390, lower deck cargo hold. I don't know why that number is, but it's so hard for me to say. Whoa, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! Oh, look at all those suitcases. Oh, and yeah, there's one missing. There's one of those suitcases missing. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. So this is the real scene of the murder. There is a certainly high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Here we go. Okay, well, there's obviously one of these missing. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth! It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair! These must be all the leftover ones they can sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after the flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy! Yep. Yep. Love it. Absolutely love that design. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200! Yeah, that's about, I think, the reaction everybody has when they look at that price tag. I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenero wonders why they don't sell. You'd need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although, definitely looks like one is missing. So what is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Okay, good to know. I got a little look-see around. There's bed sheets over here. Ziploc. There's a suitcase there. There's the elevator there. And there's nothing else. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. This sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Oh, he's so sad. Let him tell the story. Okay, there's a suitcase here. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait. A file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. Looks like a profile on Francisca. Interesting. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Oh, I can't wait to present that to Francisca. Where is it? Where is it? Why don't I have it? That's weird. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Interesting. Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special keycard. Both the door to the attendant's room and the elevator control panels require a keycard, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Okay. Well, I feel like I've inspected everything, so I guess it's time to talk. Oh, no, not everything. I didn't know that this plane was capable of carrying such a large piece of the cargo. This thing's as tall as 2 of you on top of each other, sir. It'd probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surface of this monstrosity. What? Really? Oh, yeah, I guess that sounds about right. There's really no need to take that throwaway estimate seriously, Detective. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I've inspected everything. Unless there's something up here. But I highly doubt it. Yeah, no, there's nothing up here. Alright, let's talk to you. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. Why at this airport? I've been following a very large and involved governmental-level international crime. But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with the Interpol. Okay. Good to know. Oh yeah, I forgot about connections. That's what I'm gonna... Oh, hello, Melon. Good evening. Interpol was involved. We're finishing Turnabout Airlines. Right now, De Niro got arrested. And we're checking the cargo hold now because we think that this is the actual scene of the crime. It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make some logic. I'm gonna do some logic. Broken glass. Glass shards. Oh, finally. These connect. I think we could safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lens. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. So I think these probably connect. Yeah, they do. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Francisca? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Francisca said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's a bit more likely that Mr. Hicks was actually Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francisca has some explaining to do. Truth behind Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Is that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Niles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes, Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Okay. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. You're a special little boy, Gumshoe. You're a special, special little boy. Oh! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason, of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see. But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glasses fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases, and they entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling his contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Investigation complete. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth, but the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda De Niro. Okay. Now I gotta prove that it's not Miss De Niro. It's gotta be Miss Meal. It has to be Miss Meal. She had to have been the one. If it was a crew member, any of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such a high-level access is Miss Rhoda De Niro. I think that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? It is pretty decisive. That is pretty decisive. I know what she's trying to say, but I'm certain it's not as simple as that. Definitive evidence. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. Yep. Point to keep in mind is the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda De Niro. It's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? Yeah. Let me take a look-see at the evidence. I mean, okay, well, Tamiro was here at 5:40 a.m. Acme Hicks was where he took a seat off at 5 a.m. 5 p.m. Let's go back. Let me look at this. Okay, so it was a movie that's supposed to start at 6. And that's around the time of death, I think. I'm pretty sure time of death was around 6. No, his watch was wrong, so it wasn't 6. We have the time of death wrong. Does it say it here? Body is found at 6:15 a.m. Okay, body is found at 6:15 a.m. Must have been ordered before that. Taniro was here at 5:40. So, I mean, that timeline doesn't really match up very well. Although it's not that decisive until we know the exact time of death, which was between 5 and 6:15. I'm gonna press Francisca on a couple things, see if I got any ideas from that. That's true. Just gonna hold it. That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot is in the cockpit is like a horse with a rider, crop in hand, and much like Scruffy over there. Ugh. I can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well, then what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal? I thought you might ask about her. It's kind of weird this plane doesn't have a co-captain. Like, most planes have those. Most planes have a co-captain. Why was there only one? That's weird. Yeah, the key card to the elevator.
Hold it!
Hold it. But it's highly likely that the key card was stolen from Miss Taniro. Objection. It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you could come up with? Did you call yourself a disciple of my father? Yes, well, I don't have any evidence, Be quiet, you're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Taniro, you know. It's not just the key card that gives her away. You're talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Ugo piggy bank. Yes, she's also the only person with a key to open the display case. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case, of the murderous bank, its personal matter. But that is a fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? That's a great point. That's a good point. I don't know. Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. Did you search in every individual suitcase? Because the bloody cloth was in the one that was found at the, in the gift shop suitcase. Did you check all those suitcases? Because it's very possible. Because these suitcases are meant to be destroyed at the end of the flight. So, I mean, it'd be a good place to hide a murder weapon. It's easy to get rid of it. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. It should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon. There's some blood on one of the corners. It's piggy bank to the murder. That's old. That's old dialogue. The hat on its head was found inside a display case in the in-flight shop. I wonder if that fact has any bearing on this case. Okay, so, I mean, if you would examine the piggy bank, the only thing that you would really need to examine further, I guess, would be if there's any damage to the piggy bank. But if it was used to cover up the murder weapon, it probably would have hit it against its head again. So, I don't know about that. The crime scene in the authenticity of the weapon. It is the weapon. The crime scene, that would make sense to search, because I'm thinking it's probably in the suitcase. The actual murder weapon's probably in one of those suitcases. I'm not sure if they checked those. The victim's body, what was the options? The body. I mean, they could check the body to see if it's been hit twice, or if the if it matches up with the supposed murder weapon. So, I mean, there could be arguments for any of these. But I think we should look in the suitcases, so I'm going with the crime scene. I mean, even if I'm wrong, I have life to spare. I'll be fine. I think we should examine the crime scene in more detail. We might turn up the murder weapon if we search all the cargo and luggage. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Okay, so body or piggy bank. Damage to the piggy bank, or if it matches up the body. Let's say, I mean, the body's not here anymore. So let's say the piggy bank. So the bill to be damaged, or perhaps if it did. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. This is it already, and there's no sign of anything on it. But we can't discount it as the murder weapon on that one fact alone. Piggy bank is, after all, made of a stronger material than human flesh. That's very true. So I was wrong about that too. Okay, so last thing I'm choosing, the body. Francisca, I think you're too quick to jump to your own conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes, we didn't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Agent Hicks' head is consistent with the murder weapon? And that was my other logic there. I had the right logic. It was just flawed. I just couldn't tell which one would be good to search first. Scruffy! Yes, sir? Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks' autopsy. Yes, sir. There we go. Autopsy results. Oh, we've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What's the big problem? What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know was one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said that it's one gigantic bruise from his beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Okay. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area. Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head, the killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Instantaneous resulting from a blow to the back of the head, bruising head to mid-back. Interesting. What could have made a wound like that? Suitcase, maybe? I don't know. They look like plastic to me. I don't think they could do that much damage. Scruffy! What is had a grudge against against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Ouch! Sir, I already told you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. First of all, that racket. Oh, it's gonna be the art guy. He wants his luggage. My luggage, my cargo, they're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand to have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave- Hey, what are you- You have left me no choice but to use strong force. You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Let me prove that this isn't the murder weapon. For all you know, he searched his entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. Doc said it's one gigantic bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his back. Okay. Okay, no, those don't go together. Can't see a clear connection between them. Look at him just dead. He's literally just dead. Okay, yeah. Prove that this isn't the real murder weapon. Really beaten. Smuggling. Could be found. Not entirely sure which one of these I'm supposed to connect. Oh my god. This isn't gonna connect. Never mind, it is. Allegedly, the killer struck the victims many times over, which is why there's extensive bruising over such a wide area. Was that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is in one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. For the murder weapon must be something much bigger. Putting these two together, what couldn't be found, and it was large. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. Is it gonna be the plane? He got hit by an airplane. What was all that about? Was he trying to jump on his way down here? Francisca. What do you want? I found it, Francisca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. It's coming from a prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on, then. Show me this real murder weapon you speak of. I don't think I have evidence to show. Let me take a look. Anything big enough? Yeah, no, I don't have evidence. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me? What do you mean I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it of that which caused Agent Hicks' death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I have figured out what the real cause of death. Freefall. The victim fell from a great height and why am I having so hard with this word? Hello, Pro Totally. Yes, I am doing detective work. And I'm also struggling with English. Subsequently. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. I did it. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death. Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim had extensive bruising on the back of his head and back. The only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean. Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs to this very cargo hold. What? Then... We're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs! No, he's fine. That's not that big of a part. Hey you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal! Quiet! Why are you screaming? He's alive! Yay! And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell off the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? It would have been a Burgundian pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there. As if it could have been a window of time where that giant box was not there. But there was, what? What can I use to show her that it's possible that the box was not always there where it is now? The refueling, I think. Restop, refuel, and transfer cargo on the Shenfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask all passengers remain on board.
Take that!
Take that! You refueled in the Republic of Shenfa. Yes, this flight had a short layover in Shenfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Shenfa Express. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Shenfa. Okay, that's good to know. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold in the Europe Shenfa leg of this flight. Making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. But your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. First order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Begin investigation. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red Statue. Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Then let's get investigating, sir. Again, LeBlanc saying, doing great work with what you're saying. I understand completely. This must be LeBlanc's cargo. Look here, do not go around grabbing my... Look here, do not go around touching my possessions without my permission. Don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Alright. No, that's not what I meant to... I meant to talk to him, not look at the... LeBlanc's cargo. I take it this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it is mine! I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Aleph Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you try to stop calculating how many packets of noodle that makes, Detective. Darn, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, is there a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case? There is a chance that that wasn't a question. We already know it's related. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. Okay, good to know. Board. Okay. I feel like I have to present something, but I'm not sure what. Could this be what's in that statue? I don't know. There's something going on here. Okay, what are the logics I can do? Smuggling. Huh. Interesting. No, I didn't want to touch it. I want to talk to him. There we go. I would like to present something to you. Why you show me something of no value? Show me the bread first, and maybe we will talk. Wants me to pay him before he comments. You dumbass. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll try making this... doing this logic here. I don't know if this will actually connect, but it feels like something that might connect. It's connecting. Mr. LeBlanc is part of a smuggling ring. Wow. I knew he was suspicious. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Shenfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. There we go. Fake statue. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc, I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't make such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. Okay, no, he's not part of the smuggling ring. He's just the victim of the smuggling ring. Got it. I really wanted to arrest him. I don't like him. But whatever. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. Okay. I can't read this. What does it say? It says as plainly as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. The statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. No, that's a... Which means that there never was a window of time when the statue wasn't sitting there. Okay. Interesting. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. This, I knew it would be this statue. This, I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the olive red? Oh, the eyes are wrong. The eyes in the statue are yellow, the ones in the photo are red. This is olive red? It gives off such a feeling of art! I can practically smell it! This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at the museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. Okay. That's wrong. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the famous olive red statue, What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. I just need to do this. The eyes are wrong. Yes, it is. Look! The eyes are red here, but they're yellow here. Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? I thought they looked yellow, but yeah, orange works too. The line between yellow and orange is very blurry. Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets, focus detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Sir, they're red! As I thought, this statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The olive red. I suppose this is your pride and joy? Is it not? It's the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to process this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is gonna be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, you have my heartfelt sympathy, but, what is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why just started yelling? Now then, oh. It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. No! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. A fake? I believe that even further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmation that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Shenfa. Now present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. That proves it was brought aboard at Shenfa? Oh. Because it's on top of this. What's this? That statue looks like it's stepping all over his neighbor's cloth cover. It kind of resembles its owner attitude in a sense. Ho! You, what did you say now? Brother, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespass of my subordinate. Why should I forgive if the trespasses? Unless it is an expensive, oh my god. Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. Okay, well I think I could do something here. This spot somehow connected to any of the evidence. Yes it is. It's connected to this. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. Oh! That's not possible! But it is, It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Shenfa, There was no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that the fake statue was smuggled on board in Shenfa. But then, what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity on board this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however you have it backwards, Francisca. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue wasn't... Who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge, which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. And the document is in Borginian, which Teniro doesn't speak. Miss Meeks, however, does speak it. Investigation complete! Yippee! I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could have been seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Shenfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during Europe, Shenfa legged the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer? Move this statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now! Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Aliford statue out of the way, we tested the area under with luminol, and there was a reaction. Blood. Blood. I see. There's a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up as well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up the blood? With the Borginian cloth.
Take that!
Take that! The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Shenfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Shenfa? There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. The murder occurred before we landed in Shenfa, then Miss Emile's testimony becomes highly suspect. Recall Miss Emile's testimony about... Did I say Meeks before? I said Meeks before, didn't I? Meeks is that police officer. Miss Emile. I meant to say Miss Emile. Recall Miss Emile's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Shenfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but... That totally contradicts the facts, sir! But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Emile herself. To be continued, except it's not to be continued. We are finishing this today. We have plenty of time. It hasn't even been 2 hours yet. This, I think, is the last, this will be the last save point. I think the next section will be us picking apart Miss Emile's version of events. Oh, Miss Teniro, you're not in jail. Cargo hold. Miss Meal. Miss Meal. Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier? About when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Shenfa? Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Shenfa. Oh? Miss Cammy Meal. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did? No one could mistake nobody can make a mistake so large, Miss Meal. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well, Miss Meal. If you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, you are. Miss Meal's alibi. Yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Yeah, and from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Okay. How's a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meal, wake up! She fell asleep again. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Alrighty. Rebuttal. Oh yeah. 3 to 4 was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class in the lounge, between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that was kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. Then what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating, and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way! Sleeping is a part of our job too, you know. Yeah. From 5 to 6, flight attendant's room all by your lonesome self. Let's press. So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one else even popped their head in to say hi. Well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. Should I raise an objection? Yeah, I'll raise an objection. Miss Meal, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. Because that was the same time that Miss Teniro bought a suitcase.
Take that!
Take that! I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Teniro bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp, as you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Teniro. Yes. Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have her locked up by now. I requested that you be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Teniro, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip to first class, down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase, after which I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meal there at that time? No. So Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Cammy Meal. Huh? Oh, the bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know? You take me for a fool. That's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. Cross my heart. I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Reason for suspicion. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew, but you'd think then maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. But you wanna know something? Miss Rhoda actually kinda like... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Thank you, Jesse, for following. I had to look because I missed the animation. Thank you for following. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Hello, Jesse. Okay, suspecting me because I'm one of the crew. It's true. I think maybe you should also suspect this Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard at the shop. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. That's true. I'm gonna have to press her. There's not really much to latch on to here.
Hold it!
Hold it. Oh, you're also playing the game. Yeah, I've played the original trilogy, so this is the second, I guess technically fourth, Ace Attorney game I've played. I'm enjoying it. How are you enjoying it? No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks also turned out to be a bunch of lies. That's good. What case are you on? But say I wasn't in attendance, you wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough. Also suspect Miss Rhoda too. She's already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh yeah, I guess I just forgot. Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. Except for you. Can't believe you would think that. I mean, me? A killer? Miss Miola, what did you mean by no- What did- Oh my god. Miss Miola, what did you mean just now by no one else could have done it? She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shops, you know?
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count, but I spent so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth, Kimmy is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borginian. She is the only one on this flight who is fluent. Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian. Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian? Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. You asking me, that makes her super suspicious.
Hold it!
Leave episode 4. Oh yeah, so you're much farther ahead than I am. No spoilers. Actually, your on-the-job behavior makes you super suspicious in my eyes. Okay, that's good. Huh? But why? Well, Miss Teniro is busy with the passengers and all of her other duties. You have a lot of free time on your hands, thus providing you with ample time to commit the crime.
Objection!
Objection. If I was Edgeworth, I demand that you cease and desist in this line of conjectural questioning. I won't allow you to bluff your way through this like a certain defense lawyer. I wonder which defense lawyer she's talking about. I don't know, maybe a certain bisexual one. But I do not honestly believe Miss Meal does any actual work aboard this flight. Oh, that's not true, Mr. Edgeworth. Although, well... Oh, I'm in charge of the attendance room and some Burgundian stuff. Burgundian stuff, such as this forged document.
Objection!
Objection! So you are the only one in this flight crew that speaks Burgundian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Burgundia for a while. If that's the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose, to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have done either prepared or processed this document in Burgundian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Aleph Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. They were bubbles! She's blowing bubbles. That's silly. She's never slept. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to have participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document, but you can't use that as fact alone to make your allegation of a smuggling stick. There is no direct correlation, after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really, all you did was sign it. I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition. Even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw that charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
Objection! If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hanks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. Huh? The killer. Okay. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Teniro who's under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning. I mean, feels like it's gotta be a suitcase, right?
Take that!
Take that, The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase, Why is that, Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? Oh, she's pissed. Don't take it out on the teddy! Don't take it out- what's he, a sloth? I think it's a sloth, or he's a lemur. I can't remember. I think he's a lemur. Don't take it out on the lemur! Don't hurt him! The only way all these accusations make sense, is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works at without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase, ergo they made do with whoever was at hand and adapted their plan. They tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyways? That is because of special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances? Where? Would have to be where. The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Camille. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And... Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyways, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture. Something that's unaccounted for. Something that you can't fit into the big picture. Feels like we've used everything. Oh, the phone! Where was the phone again? I don't remember. Oh, it was in the suitcase. Right, the phone. It's gotta be the phone, right?
Take that!
Take that, I don't have any actual evidence, I thought not. But that's because it went missing. It still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hick's cell phone. Or at least, that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hick's cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. You mean, the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspected if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, would we? Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Hicks' phone! It's ringing from somewhere, sir! I hear it, Detective. Now where's it coming from? Okay. Oh, it's in here. Here we go. The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Oh, is that it in the trash can? Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. Doesn't seem to be over here. Then let's look somewhere else, sir. Okay, not there. The ringing's coming from somewhere around here. But it's not here, sir. I have such a bad feeling about where we're going to find the phone. It's going to be in Miss Tenero's locker, isn't it? The ringing's coming from in here, sir. What? No, it can't be. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Whose locker is this, sir? Oh, I wonder. It's Miss Tenero's. What? Great. While trying to prove Miss Mule did it, we accidentally proved that Miss Tenero did it. Yippee! Oh, we're such good at this. We're such good at this. So good at this. Oh my god. There we go. So, Mr. Edgeworth, how'd it go? Where'd you find the phone? She already knows where we found the damn phone. I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rhoda Tenero, I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me, Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Objection! Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed a cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. Objection! This is related to the keycard, alright? In the same way, we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. You know, I think he should buy one of those suitcases. It's like his perfect color scheme. What should I do? Francisca's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it. Hold it! What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. Okay, well, there's cracks on the screen, obviously. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Okay. Camera. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder... How exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of a smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine could take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures of this? In particular, pictures as evidence for his smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. But the phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone, I'll find a way, don't worry about that. Yeah. May I go back to sleep now? Objection! The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Francisca? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still there inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francisca, your phone if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. Yeah, okay, so there's the fact that the statue wasn't there. This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. Hey, the olive red's nowhere in this pic, sir. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Oh, she's right. It's not much we could find out about this, Agent Hicks. Oh my god. Oh, she's right. There's not much we could find out about this. There's not much we could find out from this about Agent Hicks' killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo we can use? Yes, there is. The suitcases. This one's meant to be missing. The fact that all the suitcases are here in this photo is odd. Agent Hicks was still alive at the time. So what exactly is so odd about the suitcases haven't been used being there yet? Well, I guess I was only pointing things out that are different between now and then. Your off-topic ramblings have put this attendant to sleep yet again, Miles Edgeworth. Your sleepy hero, a rude awakening, a deafening objection, and a contradiction. Okay. Well, I mean, these boxes are different. What's all this, Oh, they are cargo ships from Virginia to Shenfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Shenfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me about the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. What cluster of boxes is written in Burgundian? It says... It is cloth in English. Cloth, could it be... Is this for the killer? What is it that's for that scary face? Miss Miola? Yeah? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence, after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Ha. Maybe you should enforce your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. The Burgundian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Laffa. Take that! And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilled. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Shenfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean the blood with. That's right, the killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Camille. Hold it, ha, that's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian. Objection. Sorry, but I cannot agree to your assessment on the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Burgundian, well then, logically the killer would have opened this box first. Bedsheets,
Take that!
take that, Hey, it says bedsheets in English right on the box, Precisely, and bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? Hold it. So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Burgundian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets may have been opened. However, the Burgundian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color, because the killer knew it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Shenfa. That's right. That's why the Burgundian cloth was used. And the only Burgundian reader on board who can make such a calculated decision is you, Camille. You and you alone. It'd be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Shenfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. So what did you say, Miss Emile? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation at Shenfa? Ugh. No! 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 He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I pushed him. We've finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, Detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we could get more out of her there. Whenever we approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I could continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that... Well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. Thanks! I'll be sure to use this in my closet where no one can see it. Thank you, Miss De Niro. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Well, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at GoU Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go. Take a bow. I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy, was it fun. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Going back to Germany, I see. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sir. Alright, here we go. Oh, I'm not moving, she's come here. Francisca. I thought I told you when you first landed I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time, however it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am? You are Francisca von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing pirata, living her life on the same name and fame as her inevitable father built, invincible father built. True, your father Manfred von Karma didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time was only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry, I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there's another agent on this case with me. Oh? Another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents, and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run into him one day. I'm simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose, but I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full. Goodbye, Francisca. A pleasure as always. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness, I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Oh. I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Francisca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in a patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first, Thus I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play, and the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Edgeworth speaking. Ah, finally. I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Have you forgot my voice, Miles, my boy? I have no idea who this is. I have no idea who this is. Mr. Amano. Ernest Amano, correct? Okay, I feel like I should know who this is. I feel like I should know who this is, but I don't. So you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. Do I know who this is? I'm not sure I know who this is. I mean, I'll figure out when I see their sprite. Okay, Ernest Amano, someone who I'm not entirely sure if I know. Son has been kidnapped. Good to know. But we're not going to figure out if I know who they are today. Nope. Nope. We're ending it here. Next stream, I'm not entirely sure if next stream I'll play this game, but I'll definitely play again by, next week, Monday. So, you know. be ready for that. Yeah. So that was Turnabout Airlines. We finally finished it. It was fun. Miss Meal, she did not expect to commit a murder, but she did. She did very well. She did very well. She almost got away with it. Almost. That'll be the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.